Hey guys, it's Cookie here. So if you have decided to block out the video game world this weekend, you may have missed out on the next giant video game franchise exploding onto the scene. That franchise is Palworld. Palworld is an open world crafting sandbox style game with some survival elements thrown in there, where you can go around and collect mysterious creatures known as pals. You will quickly realize that this game resembles another massive franchise quite heavily, and that would be Pokemon. It has also even been referred to as Pokemon with guns. But we'll talk more on that later. As far as the game is concerned, there are a few things that you might want to know about what has transpired over this weekend for this franchise, so here's everything you need to know about what's going on in Palworld right now. First off, let's talk about all that extreme success that this game has already generated. Within 8 hours of release, it already had 1 million downloads, and then within the first day, it had 2 million. Now just 3 days after its release, Palworld has already surpassed 5 million downloads. This game is also available on Xbox Game Pass, so the players who downloaded the game there don't even count towards this number. It's an incredibly successful launch for Pocket Pair, the developers of this game. Palworld also had the third highest number of concurrent players at one time in the history of Steam. Only Counter-Strike and the massive craze of PUBG's early days have ever had a higher level, and Palworld's level of concurrent players is on the rise and will probably pass Counter-Strike 2 in the coming days. It's also seen a massive amount of love from the streaming community, as every popular streamer on Twitch this weekend had Palworld playing, booming Palworld to number 1 for most of the weekend on Twitch streaming categories, even above just chatting. It also has over 45,000 reviews, and 93% of them are positive, despite the issues that I'm about to discuss. Despite all the success, the game isn't without its issues and controversies. Let's start with the Pokemon issue that I mentioned earlier. When playing this game, it's impossible not to see the similarities between this game and the popular Nintendo franchise Pokemon. The pals have a very similar art design. You collect pals with tiny spheres, just like Pokeballs, and in some cases the pals are nearly the exact same as popular Pokemon, as you can see by some of these illustrations. Some fans of Pokemon are less than pleased about what some are calling a straight-up ripoff of the famed franchise. In many cases, the pals are similar, and in some cases, they're practically identical. Some fans have also brought up that the game won't last because Pokemon might sue and then destroy the game financially. Developers have also been receiving death threats and other nasty messages, probably stemming from the ripoff argument. Pocket Pair has responded to this criticism, citing that the game is more akin to Ark Survival Evolved or games like it. They went on to say that they have cleared all the legalities to make sure that their game is safe in this copyright issue, and as of yet have had no claims made against them. As far as the death threats are concerned, obviously Community Manager is not responding to any of them directly and is obviously asking for them to stop and be less unruly with criticisms. But as far as Pokemon suing them, this seems unlikely considering the game has been in development for 3 years, and it's hard to believe they would put all that work in and have this major risk of lawsuit hanging over their head, but time will tell. There is also a major discrepancy between the Steam version of this game and the Xbox/PC version. Xbox games typically lag behind Steam when it comes to updates and patches for them because of the more strict system developers have to go through with Microsoft. However, Palworld in particular is really falling behind for Xbox players. There are currently dedicated servers on Steam, which Xbox does not yet have, which prevent crashing. This, I can say from experience, is a massive problem for Xbox players, rendering the game almost unplayable. There are also many issues Xbox players are having, like falling through the map, or irresponsive pals, or just irresponsive NPCs that are taking away from a player's engagement with the game for sure. These issues are far less frequent on Steam, thanks to the hot fixes and patches that Steam has gotten long before Xbox. Steam servers allow up to 32 players at once, while Xbox can only manage 1/8 of that at 4 players at one time. There's also many random features like naming of pals, for instance, that Steam players have had for a while that Xbox players are still yet to get. Pocket Pair has addressed this issue as far as servers are concerned, saying, quote, "We'd like to have dedicated servers on Xbox, but it's unfortunately not up to us and is quite difficult to negotiate at this time, but we are trying." The most interesting part of that quote is how Pocket Pair says it's not up to us, perhaps shifting the blame to Microsoft, which is strange considering other games on Xbox do not have this problem because they do have dedicated servers. There is also no crossplay at this time, which Pocket Pair insists it is working on changing and hopes to have up and running soon. Also, for any PlayStation users hoping that Palworld will come to them, there are no plans for that at the moment. However, there may be a glimmer of hope for PlayStation fans because they said they would consider it during development. Palworld could be an interesting cog in the console wars for this very reason. There haven't been a great number of Xbox exclusives that have been major hits, but Palworld has the chance to be one of those big game changers for Xbox, since, as I mentioned, PlayStation doesn't have it yet. So you would think it would be in Xbox's greater interest to get this resolved as soon as possible, to get a major leg up on PlayStation with a game that could actually make people buy a Series X rather than the PS5. Therefore, the blame Pocket Pair appears to be putting on Xbox is surprising, since it hints that Xbox is making it very hard for them to make the game good on their systems. Again, popular thought would say that this issue will be resolved soon, but so far, not so good for Xbox players. As for the future of this game, there seems to be a lot of improvements on the way. A couple additions that have been mentioned so far include a PvP arena setup, the ability to trade your pals with other servers, major building system updates, as well as raid bosses that would force the server to work together to take them down. With Palworld's early success, the sky may be the limit. Palworld devs had an emergency meeting with Epic Games to shore up servers after the game's extremely successful launch was pushing the servers further than expected. Seeing Palworld teaming up with Epic Games does push some to think of Fortnite and Epic Games' massive success with that franchise. Could Palworld reach even greater heights of success in the future? Who knows? As of now, there are over 100 pals for you to collect and put to work, or whatever you want to do with them, and a giant world to explore. Palworld is available on Steam or Xbox and PC, as well as free through Xbox Game Pass. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell for notifications, as we will be releasing videos more rapidly in the coming weeks. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.